Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Araceli with Planning con Calma, where I invite you to come in, slow down while I talk planners, journals, and stationery. In today's video, I'm going to go through my daily duo, each daily page, and I'm going to try a little bit of a different kind of method. Since I do a lot of prep and a lot of it is really repetitive, I'm thinking of probably doing one in depth and then doing the other on screen, but maybe having some background info or background music so that you're able to kind of follow along and see what I'm doing, but have some nice music instead of me feeling like I have to also fill in with kind of talking. Let me know if that's something you like, if you're more interested in me talking through it. I'm thinking of doing the week at a glance, more of a chit chat, and then with this one doing more of a just kind of showing you what I do, and then just having some background info for you to relax and be able to plan with me, especially since I just do some forward planning. I don't take you through my daily because I actually do that kind of day of. So if that's something that interests you, please keep on watching. So let me So again, I'm going to start off just kind of taking some of my most used things. I'm going to have my little pouch on the side. And I'm going to make sure I have my kind of things. And then I actually might put these stickers, which I put on the back of here, I might just put it on here. That way, instead of flipping to it, I can just go ahead and whenever I take this out to use, because I use the stickers or the sticky notes, I can just go ahead and use this. So perfect. So again, I use this sticky note, ERIN CONDREN ruler, and then this is the meal planner ruler, which I will link everything down below. And kind of show you what I do. This first one. So I'm gonna go ahead. I believe I've been using these purple ones because I ran out of my white ones. I actually went ahead and purchased this. I mentioned in my previous video that I used my my coupon for a free interchangeable cover, and I had a 20% off, so I went ahead and used those, and I bought some more of these sticky notes. So excited to receive those at a discounted rate. Perfect. And so again, I cover the little calendar because I don't like it. And then I go ahead and I'm going to write my routine up here. I take this and I write down my ideal kind of morning steps. I take my meds, I do my skincare, I then brush my teeth, I plan, which involves kind of going through my daily and writing more in-depth things, and then I go ahead and make some breakfast and eat it, and then I try to do yoga. And then for my top kind of 3 things that I like to include here is I do meeting, I try to walk or do some form of exercise. I think that's kind of interchangeable. And then I try to do no spend, which I'm getting better at, but I don't always do. And then this section, again, I haven't shown it, but I might do maybe just one day when I take you through kind of when I fill this out. But I will pull a tarot deck, a card from my tarot deck, and I have some stickers. So I go ahead and put it and kind of put what I think it'll mean for my day. So I go ahead and do that. And I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And obviously you can use as many lines as you think you need for your PM routine, but I do the same. I do skincare, teeth, and then I go ahead and I read and I journal. If you're interested in kind of the prompts that I use for my journaling, I posted a video this past Wednesday. So if you're interested, you can for sure go ahead and do that. And then I go ahead and take my Crayola Super Tips in my kind of yellow morning color, and then in my more evening routine one. I've seen a lot of people use mild liners, and while I do think those are really nice, I already have these Crayola Super Tips, so I'm going to go ahead and use them while I have them. And then I'm going to go ahead and kind of mark this at 4 and go down, draw this line, and then go ahead and draw these out. Again, I go ahead and use this section for my reflections. I try to do a morning and an evening reflection, and this is really important to me because, again, while I have journal here, I don't always get to it. For whatever reason, I feel like especially recently I've just been really tired after work, so it hasn't felt like something that I've wanted, honestly, to spend my energy on. And whether or not that's a good option, I think that for me, knowing that I can always at the very least do like a quick journaling prompt here of just like kind of what was on my mind, a quick little writing, I think that's really important to me. And so I like having it and knowing that I at the very least get a little bit of space and time to reflect in my daily duo. And again, I think it's a really good use of this space. I've seen a lot of people kind of just cover it with a sticker, which again is cute if that's what you want, but for me, I feel like this is a much more useful place for me. I do morning reflection, and then I do evening reflection. And then again, I go ahead with my pencil and kind of cut it halfway to practice penmanship. And again, just because I go ahead and I do this, I was like, I always feel really awkward during the section when I'm doing this, and I'm like, maybe I can go ahead and include some music for people to just be able to kind of plan with me instead of feeling like I need to fill in the silence with kind of talking. So for this one, I'll go ahead and kind of chit chat a little bit, but then again, in the other clips, when I finish, I'll go ahead and just put some nice chill music. It's something that I've seen other creators do that I quite enjoy too. So we're just trying new things, seeing what works, seeing what we like. Yeah. I honestly also started this YouTube channel because I only see a couple of creators who use the ERIN CONDREN Daily Duo and like make videos on it, and so I definitely see a need of people to share more kind of their daily plans, how they use it and stuff like that, because I see a lot of creators come out when there's a launch and they'll go ahead and like share it, but I don't see them actually use it. So that's what I'm kind of doing. So I'm actually thinking of taking Monday off of work. So if not, I would normally kind of just do like work and then box that out and do any other tasks. But I'm thinking of taking that day off. So I won't go ahead and write anything in case. I've been trying to take more days off because I've been pretty overworked. So I have a meeting at 4:30. So I'm going to do 4:30 p.m. And then at 6, yeah. From 6 to 7, I have a book study on Zoom. And I like to use the little circle so I can go ahead and mark this once I've completed it. So this is kind of what it looks like on the daily. And again, I'm going to go ahead and do the rest with you, but you won't hear me most of the time. You'll just kind of see me do it.
And so for this one, I'll go ahead and kind of loop you guys back in. I actually am planning on working this day, so I go ahead and write Rick up right before 8 a.m. because that's when I start work. Then I go ahead and make some lines here. Go ahead and kind of box this in all the way until 5. Then we're gonna go ahead and do this. Perfect. And again, just to add a little bit of color, I've been grabbing my Crayola super tip and just kind of making a little drop box for cuteness. And then I'm going to go ahead and use these stickers here. Team call at, I believe it's 9 a.m. Yep, 9 a.m. Go ahead and do that. And then I have an intake call at 11 a.m. And then, yeah, that's how I do it. And then day of, I'll go ahead and actually physically write it out. But this way, in case it gets moved or canceled or whatever reason, I don't have to white out it. So that's something I found that's been really helpful.
know kind of how I prep for the week ahead. I hope that you've enjoyed it. Let me know what you think of the whole me explaining some and then having some instrumental music on the rest. But I hope this gave you a chance to slow down and plan for the week ahead with me. Thanks so much.